So this is going to be a more Western style Japanese home. It's going to look a lot more familiar to what mostly you see in the US here. Not so open floor plan. Oh, wow, it goes in a circle. Oh, yes, this is a Japanese take on a, oh, wow, this is really nice. This is incredible. Tell you what, the quality of new houses in Japan, way better than ours. What are they doing different? What do we need to do better? My God. You got the attention to detail and the craftsmanship. We were blown away. We had just randomly picked some custom home builders in Japan to kind of do a little quick tour to see how do the Japanese view modern home building. And we were like, what is going on? I travel a lot, y'all, and I talk to a lot of custom home builders back here in the States, and the quality and craftsmanship of the houses going up in the United States are absolutely terrible compared to what they're doing in Japan. What can we learn? So impressive, Japan. I am just... How do you do it? All right, let me know when you're rolling.
We're rolling.
Mina sonkon shichawi. Wait, all right. Mina sankon nichiyawa ima nihongo o hanoso tushite imasu. That's pretty good, folks. I've only been in Japan for about 6 days now, and you think I was a damn local. No, they don't think I'm a local. I don't look like them. That's not very nice. I'm too big and strong. That's not very nice either. All right, so we've been showing you some bigger cities and what it's like to live in the big cities. But we're gonna get out of the big cities and the metro areas where all the people are, and we're gonna get out into regular people land. We're gonna go out and show you what it looks like in the smaller cities, and most importantly, how much it costs to live here. Because I know some of you have been watching some of these videos and you're thinking, Nick and Kim, that looks great. We're coming. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're probably not coming. You're not gonna like what I'm gonna show you. But we're gonna show you anyway what it's like to live in the smaller cities and how much it costs, cost of living, and how regular people in Japan do it. Let's get out of this big city. There's too many dang people. And cut. Japan, Earth, a strange land a half a world away. So many things different here versus where you live. The culture, the outlook, the economy. The cost of living, though, that's what we're going to focus on. It's much lower here. But before we get to all that, we need to put things in a perspective. Because it ain't all good news. There's not a lot of space here. Japan is about the same size as California, but only about a third of the land here is suitable for building. It's a lot of mountains. So it's 100 million people packed into an area that's really the size of Florida, if you think about it. And you think Florida's crowded now. There's 25 million people in Florida. Imagine if Florida was 4 times more crowded. You thought getting spotted in Naples Beach in January was hard now. But despite the lack of space, Japan's housing market is kind of in the crapper. That's because they're seeing a major population decline. They have about 10 million empty houses in Japan. A lot of them are out in the rural areas. You can get some of these houses for free or heavily reduced. They're trying to stimulate the rural areas by offering deals, like $5,000 for a house deals. Most of the older houses in Japan are in the $150,000 range. Now back home, you're like, 150 grand, that's not that much. But they're small, they're aging. They're about 1,500 square feet. Look, I even found a castle for sale for $64,000. Get in on that, people. Now you, as a person that doesn't live here, can buy a house here. I'll get to the complications of that later. But all cash, that's the only way to go. Ask the Chinese about that. They're buying up a ton of old Japanese houses, and the Japanese people hate that. They hate China for many reasons, but buying up all the land and housing is the main reason. We know something about that back home, right? So we went all over Japan, and we checked out the scene for you guys. What does it cost? What does it look like? Here's an example. So we went to the mountains, And a place like this up in the Japanese mountains would run you about $150,000. That's because nobody wants to live up here. The population's going down. There's deals up in the mountains. And then in the countryside, and I had my phone out, and as we were passing through areas, I was like, how much does it cost to live right here? As an example, right here, you can get like some old beat up houses like this for about $60,000 in the countryside. The average out here is closer to $170,000, but there's deals. Of course, if you want to live in Tokyo, downtown, it's going to cost you $800,000 to $2 million for a condo like this. Nobody wants to do that. All right, so they say Japan is affordable. I guess it is. Check out these apartment prices. So that one right there, that's about $430 a month. And it's 140 square feet. What? That's like the size of your bedroom. And then this one here, that's about $450 a month. 182 square feet. That's smaller than your kitchen, maybe. So yeah, it's affordable, but it is squished. You get tiny little places over here. We were so adventurous, we even left the main island of Honshu to see what prices look like away from the major population centers. On an island like Kyushu, rent is about $500 a month in a neighborhood like this. A new fancy condo, it's about $500,000. Older condos are about $225,000. And then go down to the beach for a little perspective. We went down there. The beachside homes are all over the place. You can spend $20,000, $100,000 for a fixer-upper. That's a short walk from the beach. But standard homes, they're about $300K for stuff like that. High-end ones like this one can be about $1 million with water views. This is a big fancy beach house right here. They're not going to be happy about this, filming them. But look at that. That is a beach house. We're 2-minute walk from the beach. Someone is sitting pretty. Okay, so that was a little bit of the housing, just a quick breakdown on how much it costs for housing. Overall, the cost of living here, it's about half what it costs back in the States. Check out these numbers, people. Now, rent. Rent here is also lower. For a neighborhood like this, it's about $800 a month. Back home, this would be about $2,000 a month, if you're lucky anymore, right? Unless you're out in the middle of Nebraska or something. This is interesting. Interest rates in Japan, 0.5%, people, for a variable rate and 1% for a 10-year fixed rate. That's almost free. Imagine that. You're probably going, why is the interest rate so low, Nick? Well, because their economy stinks. That's why. Healthcare. All right, so healthcare is a big problem in the United States. I'm not a proponent for socialized medicine, communism, all that, especially when you see what happened to Canada. They've completely made it look like it's not possible. It's a joke up there. Japan has figured out a way to actually make it work. They pay maybe 20% of their hospital bill, but they take 10% of your salary for healthcare. And there's no gotchas. You pay what is on the bill. Everybody seems to be pleased with it. And since it's so much cheaper here for healthcare, people they go to the doctor. That's one reason why they're so healthy. One of the reasons Americans are so unhealthy is because they can't afford to go to the doctor, and so they end up getting sick. College. So college costs a lot less here. Back in America, kids are realizing it's just not worth it to go to college. It costs way too much. They're not getting the return on investment anymore, and it's going up all the time. Here in Japan, it's about 3 times cheaper. So if you want to go to a public university, it's about $5,000 a year for tuition. Back home, it's about $15,000 a year. So for about 4 years, room and board, everything in Japan, you can graduate for about $60,000. In the United States, it's about $120,000, and that's in-state. You parents know that if you're watching. You graduates know that. It's a joke. The cost of college in the United States, it's way out of control. It's just almost a scam at this point. Japan's is way cheaper. They know what they're doing with that. Now, when you go out to eat in Japan, It's about 35 bucks. Every time we'd go out, we were just shocked by the bill. You don't have to tip, so you can go out and eat a big giant meal, and it's under $40 for two people. Back home, it's closer to 75, 80 bucks to go out with a couple of drinks, plus a tip. The entertainment here is much cheaper. The groceries are about 36% cheaper. I'm going to do a whole video about the shopping experience in Japan, but we were kind of like walking around looking at the prices going, man, the produce, the quality is good and it's cheaper. How do they do it? Public transportation, it's way better here. Hardly anybody drives. So they don't spend a lot of money on cars and maintenance and insurance and all that. They all take the trains. And childcare, so it's about $500 a month for childcare in Japan. Back home, it's about $1,500 per kid if you're lucky, and that's going up. A lot of people in the United States, the mom goes to work and she's basically just paying for childcare. She's got 2 kids in childcare under 5. Almost her entire paycheck with the commute costs is going to basically just fund her kids at the babysitter. What are we doing wrong there? It's about 6 feet long. Tiny. I'm imagining it's probably $3,000 based on the prices of some of these other cars. This kind of blew me away. This is the Honda N van. $10,000 can get you in one of these. 10 grand. That is cheap. For perspective, I can't even show you how big this is. It's like a gallon size for $48. I can't even hold it up. So take this all into account, and they say that a single person can get by in Japan on about $2,500 a month, as long as you're outside of Tokyo. And that's why people are flocking to Japan, because it's cheap to visit and move to if you can pull it off. It's getting so busy now that Japan's like, okay, so we wanted more tourists to come, and we definitely want people to come and buy some of our falling down houses. But y'all are crowding us out. Enough's enough. And it looks like there's one. Oh my gosh, this is very big. There's like a loft area up here. Big giant closet.
Oh, this is another bathroom.
A little bedroom up here with a Japanese style bed. And another bedroom. 2 bedrooms for the kids. Now back to those model homes that I showed you at the beginning. The whole goal was to just kind of show you what the future of Japanese housing looks like. So we made arrangements to have a couple of companies that are doing some custom homes kind of show us around and give us an idea on how the Japanese view new and modern homes and the costs and all that stuff. So most of the time, people in Japan, they buy land and then they have one of these custom home builders come in and put the house in. I asked around, it's about $100,000 for an average place of land. It's not a big squat of land. You don't get a lot. And then the custom home is maybe between $225 and $350 on average. This first one here we visited, they're called Yasunori Komuten, and they specialize in building high quality open floor plan homes. This house right here starts at $250. And it goes up based on how custom you want it and what additional features you want. It looks like it's like your house burned. Like it looks like it. I would not want this. Oh my gosh. They used actual burned wood.
It's a traditional method and it helps protect against bugs and stuff.
Oh, okay, this is traditional and it helps prevent against bugs. Okay, so bugs don't go in it's kind of to prevent termites and stuff, but I don't know, that's kind of weird. It almost looks like it burned down. Okay, our first time in an actual Japanese home. So most houses only have room for 1 unit here. So this is the dryer washer combo.
You could probably have it.
And what's the bowl? What is that?
So like a bucket to you put the water in and you just wash yourself off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you put the water in the bucket and use that to splash on you in addition to the nozzle.
Garden out there while you're in this house.
Okay, ooh, a very modern Japanese bath. Oh, look, the toilet lid came up when I entered the room. I like that. And they all have the bidets that are, you know, pretty standard here. All of this is very modern. What is this for?
That's for cooking your rice.
Oh.
That's more of like a non-machine one. It's like a natural, more of a natural.
Oh. And then you put the your heater
Yeah.
flame down there.
Okay, is that included? The first side we saw, that's about $250, which is less. You can get this side in addition for another $150-ish. So the whole thing, we're looking at maybe $375 to $400 to build. Now we're getting closer to, I thought the whole thing was $250, but that's still not terrible. So that's what a new custom-built Japanese home looks like inside and outside. Most of the homes here are not this modern and new. They don't build a lot of new houses. I mean, they don't need a lot of new houses because their population's going down. Their biggest problem is trying to fill the homes they have. The point is they use high quality and locally produced building materials. They say they're earthquake proof, bug proof, all sorts of proof, but they put a lot of thought behind making these places sustainable. And the quality is way higher than our new home mass produced crap. How are they doing it? We went to a second home builder, a place called Kinkau Chutaku. And this first house that we're in right now, this was about $275,000. Of course, you can add a little bit more, and it'll get into the threes. And this is another model home that they will build on a lot. So you can kind of see what a modern Japanese house looks like. Very modern, very nice, very lovely. I think that this is on the higher end. I don't think most Japanese people live like this. But some do. So a lot of the Japanese homes have the washer dryer in the bathroom. This is no different. Oftentimes it's a single, there's only room for one, so you get the washer dryer combo. There is room to add a separate unit, but very pretty bathroom. You see this?
This is the new thing too, to have the tub inside the shower.
Yes. Okay, so this is also kind of a unique Japanese feature here. So minimal. The closets in a lot of these homes are behind the bed. So the bed is here. You walk in to the closet. I guess that's a Japanese kind of thing. And then, of course, you've got your tea room here, tatami room. So, and it's got the roof like that. So very, very special tea room. This is where you have your tea. Again, lots of thought behind the design and sustainability. Custom high-end homes that prioritize your physical health, energy efficiency, long-term quality. No mass-produced crap being thrown up by illegals using warped timber from Canada. Not here in Japan. And then look at this second house. This was even more impressive. I really like this house a lot. They said it costs about $325 to $350 to build, plus the land. So you're looking at maybe $450. They save money. They use local materials, local labor. There's a lot of care, a lot of detail. What can we learn? Look at this house. Circular arrangements are they don't block off particular parts of the house. It's flowy. Everything opens up. And this is, there's like a whole walk around up here. Wow. About 55% of the Japanese live in detached homes like these. In the US, it's closer to 2/3. A lot of Japanese live in condos and apartments in big cities, and they're very tiny. It goes in a circle, the whole house. And then this room goes, oh my gosh. They like no separation of parts of the house. Every part of the house flows together. This is really cool.
Oh, wow. Could you imagine if this was
Yeah, if this was my office.
your office? You'd knock your computer screen over.
Probably.
You definitely would. You'd be in trouble.
Then, oh, this is the whole closet. Big closet. This is a modern Western Japanese bathroom. And the toilet goes up on its own. That's my favorite part. Washer dryer in the master bath. And the entire room, this seems to be the modern thing, this whole room is the shower tub. So you come in here and you've got the Cascade shower head that comes down, shares a tub. Nice place, and a TV in here. Wow. All right, so you're watching this video because you're curious about the cost to live here, because you're nosy, you're competitive, and maybe even a few of you are thinking about moving to Japan. Well, the people with good intentions, or if they have a reason to stay here, they can actually live well here if they can figure a way to pull it off. But moving to Japan, it's a very complicated thing. There's websites that can help you with it. I'm not going to get into the details, but I can summarize it right here. It is not easy, mister. Come on now. They don't want your loud, obnoxious self over here. They make it hard for a reason. Now, you can get a work visa or a student visa, or you can marry a Japanese person. It's a lengthy process. Sometimes after about 4 or 5 years, if you stay out of trouble and you have a really good job and they think you're super, they might give you a permanent residency, but make it hard. But the whole goal is to weed out the crazies and the losers and the weirdos and the scammers. Another lesson we can learn from our friends across the sea. What are we doing wrong? Why is it so hard to move to Japan when you can just walk across the border and take out fraudulent whatever and get a home and scam the system? What are we doing wrong? So if the whole idea of moving to Japan doesn't work for you, you can look somewhere much easier to move to. There's places that are even cheaper that make it even less of a headache to move to. Vietnam, the Philippines, I've heard, Panama, Costa Rica, Portugal, or Mexico. Those countries seem to make it fairly easy and straightforward if you want to move there and buy a property and relocate and become a resident. Now, I've only been to 2 of those countries. Out of all of them, I guess Mexico sounds good, except for when they get crazy and start to shoot each other or cut your head off. So you're on your own. I don't want to take any responsibility for any of that. And cut. Okay, so we're now the most traveled channel in America. We've seen so many places and continue to get into the rest of America. If you're looking to move and you want help with the real estate agent or need ideas on where you can move, email me or click the link in the description. My video call consulting program might be perfect for you. I also have a new ebook. It's a comprehensive guide on the best and sometimes worst parts of the country that you can move to. We update that book all the time as we travel. The details for the consulting program and the ebook are in the description below. If you want Mappy merch, like t-shirts, stickers, and mugs, there's a link to my store in the description, or just click store at the top of the channel. You should think about joining as a channel member. Click the link in the description, or click on membership at the top of the page, or just scan this QR code on your screen. As a member, you'll get to see all the excerpts, Mappy bloopers, and uncensored content. There's even stuff I did back in college on there. I also do cameos. I can send your birthday wishes or hellos or whatever you want in a video message straight to your inbox. The link to my Cameo page is in the description. And finally, we have another channel that you should subscribe to. It's called Interviews Across America, where I upload all the uncut, complete interviews with real Americans from all walks of life. The link for that channel is in the description too, or just search for Interviews Across America. That's it. Thanks for watching.